tried. I don't even want the possibility of becoming addicted to something that is going to make me physically dependent upon it.
Well, I've been watching this before. Pro drugs? Wait, no, hold on, guys. This looks pretty good though. What does it mean, pro drugs? Like medicine? Pro recreational and oh no. Guys, this looks pretty good. This looks pretty good.
My name is Kayla, and I'm a recovery advocate.
Hi, my name is Chris, and I'm a cannabis advocate.
Hi, my name is
What is it?
My name is Kayla, and I'm a recovery advocate.
Hi, my name is Chris, and I'm a cannabis advocate.
Hi, my name is Devin, and I'm fascinated with mental health.
My name is Juan Camilo González Ochoa Trios de la Rueda for the Gringos JC, and I am pro these things that grow out of the ground and make us shift our perspective.
My name is Key. I am honestly middle ground.
Yeah. That's gonna be tough, Jack. Things that grow on the ground. Ooh.
My name is Kiki Dexter, and I'm here pro marijuana.
I mean, some of them are poisonous. It's fine.
The statement is, I or someone I love has been addicted to drugs.
So my sister
Yes.
went to rehab for
This goes both, guys. This goes both for mental and physical. Though.
extensive drugs usage. It affected her life very heavily and was in rehab, cost my parents a lot of time, energy, money, and just emotional draining for the whole family.
My dad is a very adamantly recovering heroin addict. I think he first got addicted when he was like 20, 21. It was the influx of drugs into the cities in the 80s. It still affects his life.
I had a physical dependence on prescription anti-anxiety medication, Klonopin specifically, for like 7 years. I went to treatment like 3 years ago and eventually found my way back. I would consider myself sober. I've been sober for like 2.5 years.
Alcohol played a big role.
I wanted to ask the spicy questions.
In my life. I did notice going into my 20s that the pattern, that I do have a propensity to want to get fucked up. Now, I don't smoke, I don't drink, or at least
I like when it
that's
gets spicy.
my intention. But
Recreational drug.
People often become. Kim. Right.
Yeah, I think they do. For example, I had a great childhood, but I was sexually abused. Nobody knew what was going on. By the time I was 14, I was using whatever I could get my hands on to deal with the emotional turmoil that I was dealing with inside. And when we're so young, we have to.
Because the reason why I like Jubilee chat is that people sometimes they say things that are really stupid and they ask questions and the answers are just
traumatic
dumb.
events, or we have these situations and these circumstances that stick with us, and we don't know how to process them, and so we reach out to whatever's closest to us: food addiction, drug addiction.
You know?
I think it's good to establish a distinction between recreational use and habitual use. Because that's one thing I heard you guys talking about, and I don't feel that people
it can be both
really
at the same time, though.
become emotionally dependent when they're recreationally using it. When they're habitually using it, when they're using it to solve problems, then it does become an issue because you're not dealing with balance at that point. I mean, you're tipping one way on the scale, you're clearly going to affect other areas and get sick.
Guys, I thought that recreational is whenever you're not using it under the pretext of medication.
Drugs are safe with moderation.
Moderation? I don't know what I think.
That's a middle. That's a.
Actually, I agree. I think so.
I think here you answer as 0.
This was a hard one for me.
Middle.
I just had to
It goes both
hone
ways.
in
It's
on
difficult.
that word moderation. Like if I'm smoking once or twice a week, that's fine. But if I'm smoking every day of my life, every second I get up.
Because it depends. It depends who, when, how and at what frequency is like
and I can't function, then of course that's when there's a red line. I wouldn't say like using things like heroin or cocaine, like using that in moderation. I think that's just harmful. But if we're talking about the subject of marijuana and that use, then yeah.
Well, here's why I disagree. I think there are levels to this.
Yeah.
I don't think all drugs are safe, even in moderation. Like, you take a wrong Molly or whatever the Percocet pill is, like people have died from that. And that was technically in moderation. One pill, one day, life gone. Like, same thing with heroin. Like, that's something that could drastically change your life in a day.
The moderation part of it is tough because with pharmaceuticals, mainly to me, you mix two of those things, you're gone. And that's terrifying.
Yeah, and there are so many circumstances where it only takes one time to become physically dependent. Even in my case, I take prescription medication for sleeping. I hate that I'm on it, and I hate that I have to use it to function. If you don't have to absolutely do it, why do it?
So let me ask you this though, what's the distinction for you between that and like ayahuasca, peyote, DMT?
It's not necessary.
I think this guy is cooked.
A distinction that I'm gonna invite you to look at is like there is a difference between cocaine and
100%.
ayahuasca.
100%.
But what I'm saying is neither are necessary. My question to you is, are you saying to all the young people, like,
guys,
you will...
guys, I have no dog in this fight, okay? But this is not an argument. There's no necessity. Nobody needs to do a lot of things in life, okay?
will not be able to...
If I go and milk my snake in the bedroom right now, dude, is it necessary? No, but I mean, I kind of wanted to.
Open your mind fully unless you go and do this.
No, what I'm saying is that I hold everybody high and I hold everybody with the ability to think for themselves. But also going out and having...
It's like the reverse. Most things we do aren't even necessary. Most things, literally most.
An intentional, purposeful, responsible encounter with mushrooms or LSD supported me in getting over my addiction to marijuana and alcohol.
But the point being is the safety issue.
Yeah.
And what you might have gotten in that moment when you took the drugs and it opened your mind and you were able to realize a lot of stuff.
No, it's not coping.
I think people...
Yeah, guys, I'm not an advocate for drugs. You guys, listen. You guys know this before, okay? All my friends were stoners back in the days, okay? All my friends were druggies, okay? I have a lot of friends that were drug dealers. It is what it is, okay? All my friends weren't. It is what it is, okay? Maybe I shouldn't say this on stream. It's like, oh my god, you're influencing people, but it's just a little bit of lore, okay? Most of my friends were just druggies, okay? And I had this guy who would always smoke, like chain smoke. He's a very, very heavy smoker. And one day he took a bunch of mushies, and man, he's kind of wilding out. But regardless, I'm not gonna say the story. But regardless, next day he didn't smoke, and after that he didn't smoke either, and he just stopped smoking cold turkey. And
should do on their own without the drugs.
Pretty pog. But
drugs reduce people's potential.
What is it? What is that?
People's potential.
Oh no,
I think even with psychedelic drugs, to the point earlier, even if they are opening your mind up, that's really not your potential. That's not your potential. Your potential is the organic potential. And a lot of your organic self is wonderful.
I'm gonna go ahead and say I disagree. This is just a bad take. Her take is rooted into recreational drugs. When it comes to pharmaceutical drugs, some people are born with not the same biological tools and organic tools that you have. They have it in less frequency, just like glasses. The way I can explain this to you is simple. Some people have bad eyes. Their organic eyes aren't as good. What do? They get glasses to rectify that and make that better. Some people have less of something and they need the use of drugs, not recreational, but I'm saying pharmaceuticals that are prescribed to help them get on an even level. And people say, oh yeah, but sometimes they go above level. Okay. But now he's just sounding insecure and jealous. I don't know what
And it is marvelous. And if you take a little time to work and develop that muscle, like a talent, then you will be able to reach your fullest potential.
When I got sober, I went back to school, which I never thought I would do. I worked 2 jobs. I started a small business. Like, I think of all of the people who are usually hypersensitive and end up getting into drugs because they can't deal with their emotions. And all of those people could be potentially adding to society, and they're not because they're in their own world.
That's one side of the spectrum. There's another one.
So I really don't feel that.
I think that question is like, it's all negative, right? And then that she says it's all negative. That question, even if there's a little bit of positive or positive, you can't agree to take. You have to go to the disagree side. That's it.
They harm people's potential.
If there's
I
even
think they help people gain
10%,
their potential in a lot of
1%,
ways. I mean, with
that's it.
cannabis
You
alone,
can't say
I mean,
no.
we have an endocannabinoid system within our body. I mean, it's one of our main receptors within our brain. That it's like a lock and key for cannabis. We're made of the same materials. Our brain synthesizes those materials within it. So I really do feel that our potential isn't hindered by drugs.
Oh!
I mean, some, but totally, I can see
Okay,
some.
this guy is fucking cooked out the wazoo. Guys, we have fucking dopamine and serotonin receptors. Does that mean that we should fucking be out there pumping Molly like dude, key thing in my head. I got those receptors. More! What the fuck is that tank, dude?
100%, but
Brother,
overall, natural ones,
this
not
guy's
Some of
cooked
the most
out.
powerful people in the world right now in Silicon Valley and creating some.
That's exactly what he's saying it. He's saying it that because we have THC cannabinoid receptors in our brains, that we're made for this. We should take that. Brother, we got fucking dopamine up in this bitch ass. Does that mean that we should be on fucking 1 gram of Adderall every 10 seconds? No!
So I
What
really
is
do
wrong
feel
with
that
you?
Our potential isn't hindered by drugs. I mean, some, but totally, I can see some 100%, but overall, natural ones, not at all.
Some of the most powerful people in the world right now in Silicon Valley and creating some of the most powerful startups are all microdosing.
Oh, totally.
2 years ago.
What, guys?
Potential. I think they help people gain their potential. I really
World.
Look,
cannabis
look at
alone,
this
I
thing.
mean, we have an endocannabinoid system within our body. I mean, it's one of our main receptors within our brain. That it's like a lock and key for cannabis. We're made of the same materials. Our brain synthesizes those materials within it. So I really do feel that our potential isn't hindered by drugs. I mean, some, but totally, I can see some 100%, but overall, natural ones, not at all.
Some of the most powerful people in the world right now.
What can hinder is certain imbalances, right? You guys, he's completely disregarding some other systems that can be debalanced by some of these substances and compounds that end in those results. He's just downplaying entirely.
In Silicon Valley and creating some of the most powerful startups are all microdosing.
Oh, totally.
2 years ago, I had my first mushroom experience. So I went into the woods, I went in nature, I set the intention, I'm gonna have this experience that I've never had before. It was a remarkable experience, and I felt a deeper truth within my connection to the earth, something I hadn't had in a long time. And it was kind of this reconnection with my spirituality.
I can relate to you because I also come from a very spiritual background. I think wherever that framework is for you, like if it's drugs, then that's for you. I think that's a dangerous path. I also think that for me, that thing is God. You know, like me having faith in God and a relationship with God, that is the opening to my spirituality. Like I don't need to take drugs to get there.
Have you done psychedelics?
No.
So it's like someone that hasn't had sex talking about white.
No,
sex.
it's not. That's not what it's like at all. Like, but
How do you
because
know? How do you know?
But the thing is I don't need to know. That's my point. My point is.
You don't need to know.
Do you have a relationship with Christ? Have you spoken in tongues? That doesn't mean anything. That's a cross. That's not a relationship. They're
It's a
very
symbol,
different.
right?
It's
Right, it's a
a
relationship.
cross. That is not a relationship. The two are very different.
Whoa,
That's my point.
what's she getting
so
mad?
you don't have to ask me.
Why is she mad? Why is she getting mad all of a sudden? What's happening, man? He's got a cross, meaning that maybe he has a cross, meaning that maybe he's somebody who prays and practices, and he says that, oh, look, I have a cross, meaning that, look, maybe there's something behind that cross. It's not what the cross means, is that no, it's not what the cross is, it's what the cross means.
That is not a relationship. The two are very
Is that
different.
you don't know?
That's my point.
Look,
so you don't have to ask me what I did not do. What I said was, and I'll repeat it, my experience and my relationship with Christ, for me, that supersedes my desire to even go into that path because I find myself very happy, very successful, I'm thriving within my being, and I don't need the substitute.
Okay.
There is.
Guys, do we classify alcohol as drug? Do we do that? Is alcohol a drug? It kind of is, right? It pretty much is, right? And I feel like in this concept, you know, when they say we eat the body of the Christ and then we drink the juice, don't they get wine? Isn't that kind of drugs? That's the kind of I feel like this is not a genuine take.
Being, and I don't need the substitute.
There is a lot of false information.
And I think if we're going to talk about the harmfulness of some substances, alcohol is probably worse than any they named in this video.
Information about recreation.
I had to say it, but I mean, dude. I had to say it, but it is what it is.
So everyone agrees. No one knows nothing.
Most.
Get informed. That's why we're here.
It's like based on the culture, the perception. And I'm strictly talking about marijuana, but you know, at one point in history, it was also used for medicine. It was used for religion. It was used for, you know, hemp was used for a variety of things. Like, and there's people that don't know that. It's a part of our history. So when I think about how ill-informed people are, that's one of the main things.
But the truth is, like, do I really want all of the information? I'll be honest, no, I don't. I don't really need it. You know, I agree with the statement. That's why I walked over, because I will agree that like there's a lot that I don't know about recreational drugs. And I think that there's a lot that most people don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I walked over for the same thing. I try and keep an open mind at all times and realize that a wise man knows that he knows nothing. And so, especially with...
Because it's only on Jubilee that you're getting people who brag about being ignorant. It's only here, boys.
I'm
only here.
aware and have researched, you know, cannabis oils and taken CBD myself, and I am interested in, as someone who takes pharmaceutical medication, as cannabis as an alternative, but my perspective, and once again, versus recreational versus, I would consider that, for me, medical use.
There's a great deal of misinformation. I mean, just like the pharmaceutical, I mean, we have all these things that are getting pumped into our homes all the time with all of these side effects and side effects and side effects. More than half the commercial is all side effects. But yet it's telling you it's okay to take that. It's cool to take that. Yeah, it can probably kill you.
Exactly.
But it's okay to take that. But you
take
can't take
this
these
too.
other. Yeah, take this one and take this one. But don't take this thing over here that can actually help you.
Exactly.
And
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, and I think that's because there are people that benefit from our, like us not being literate about this subject.
But I have to realize, like, why we're here for this video is pushing information and for recreational drugs.
Guys, he's not being genuine, but guys, once again, this guy's he's cooked again. Guys, you're talking about medicine that you take to have a net positive in your life, and you have problems, whether it's pain or your joints are fucked up, and you take medicine that for you know the risks, and you're willing to accept those because you're getting a net win or a net gain in your life, and you're willing to glide this balance, right? And so that you decide to constantly take it, and he's comparing that to recreationally. Because I need this. What the fuck is that? It's not comparable.
Like the misinformation, but I think that it takes
It's
a
not
lot more
comparable.
education and usually a really bad circumstance for you to want to change around your life and be like, fuck, what am I doing? Like, there has to be more than this, but most...
Unless you have, I get it, seizures or some sort of medical condition that you need to smoke weed, that's fine. But he's comparing the net win of a medical use could have smoking weed in your couch and eating fucking Lay's for 8 hours while watching SpongeBob act like you're an intellectual. The
people
fuck?
never get uncomfortable enough to need to make that realization, and so I'm just not going to push it because I just think that it's going to end up way more negative, unfortunately.
1, 2, 3.
Inform the people. Okay, that was
Hey
interesting.
guys, it's Kendra from Jubilee Media. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Middle Ground. We really try to inspire radical empathy through our episodes, so make sure you let us know what you thought in the comments below, subscribe, follow us on Instagram,
That was
and we'll see you
interesting.
next time.